Oh, hello, and welcome to Lehigh Valley With Love.com Live, which is what we're calling our pre-recorded show. If you're not familiar with Lehigh Valley With Love.com, we'd like you to take a second and go to our website and check it out. Go ahead. All right, now that you've checked it out, you know that Lehigh Valley With Love.com is your source for all the crazy news stories in the Lehigh Valley. Up this week, we have 3 crazy stories. One of them includes a lady who had a DUI 2 times in 3 hours, and both times she wasn't pulled over. Another story has a woman exposing her vagina to another lady. And our last story deals with breast milk. So without further ado, let's get to our first story. Everybody knows it's not a good idea to drink and drive. It's just dumb. You're gonna get arrested. Don't do it. However, if for some reason you leave the bar a little sloshed and you make it home, what are you supposed to do? If you answered go to bed, you're a lot better than the first person in our first story. An Allentown woman was arrested twice for DUI within 3 hours, and she wasn't even stopped by the cops for either arrest. Tiffany C. Blakowicz was first cited at about 11 p.m. after cops were called to her boyfriend's house near New Tripoli, the abyss of the Lehigh Valley. It turns out someone called the cops on the couple after her fiance pushed Tiffany down in the parking lot. Once cops got to his apartment, they realized she was drunk, confirmed she drove home, and got her arrested. So you'd think it would stop there, right? She got arrested, she was processed by the police, and sent home. Well, it turns out Tiffany decided to drunk drive again, back up to New Tripoli to her fiance's house, hit him in the head with a frying pan, and on the way home, she called the cops to report that she was driving drunk. She pulled over to the side of the road and was arrested. So a tip for everybody, if you're gonna drive drunk, don't. This brings us to our next story, which involves somebody showing off their vagina in South Bethlehem. The Lehigh Valley is not immune to prostitutes. You can find them all over. Now, most of them reside in Easton, but they do spread out a little bit all over the Lehigh Valley. And some of them are just a little bit more flamboyant than others. A Southside Bethlehem woman is accused of performing oral sex on a man on the sidewalk and then flashing her genitals at a woman who confronted her to complain. Alma Rose Durand was charged with open lewdness and public drunkenness after an eyewitness's 13-year-old son reported he saw Durand performing oral sex on a man in the 1100 block of East 3rd Street. Durand reportedly flashed her vagina after the eyewitness approached her to complain. Now, the newspaper report said that Durand exposed her vagina to the woman, which is technically incorrect. See, the vagina is actually the inside part. Since we pride ourselves on being correct here at Lehigh Valley With Love.com Live, we'd like to say that Durand exposed her gross vulva to the woman. And now on to our story of the week. Now, breastfeeding is a totally natural thing. Some people may be a little bit uncomfortable with this in public, probably because of the whole boob out of the shirt sort of thing. But a savvy mom understands that sometimes her kid isn't always around to feed, so she has to bottle that stuff for later. Most people understand that this is a totally normal thing for mothers to do. Some weirdos find it a little sexually stimulating. John Bednarik II was arrested for invasion of privacy after a video camera he placed in a coworker's office at DeSales University was discovered. Bednarik placed the camera in there to videotape his coworker pumping her breast milk. The victim heard a sound, looked up, and saw a camera lens above her desk. She freaked out, called the cops, and Bednarik was arrested. Now guys, listen, if you're into this sort of stuff, there's this thing called the internet, which you can type words into and find all sorts of sick stuff to pleasure yourself to. But it'd be nice to do this on your own in the privacy of your creepy house. Don't ruin other people's lives over your sick, milky fantasies. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for you today. Keep checking us out at LehighValleyWithLove.com. Hit up LVMirror.com for more news and events from the Lehigh Valley. Keep your Facebook profiles locked down or we will find you, and keep bringing the love, Lehigh Valley.